because I am moving along. And when the valley come, I'm going to go into it, but I'm coming out of it.
You're coming out
you understand? And when we go back into it, we know me coming out of it again. So you have to have that determination. So I work in free zone for a while. And can I tell you something? I work so hard that for 11 of 12 months in 1 year, I got Employee of the Month, 11 out of 12
Is that
months.
so?
They used to take a picture and put it up on the wall.
I remember you used to those places.
Yes.
You got 11 out of 12?
11 out of 12 months, I got Employee of the Month. You understand me? Because I put my mind to it. I was determined because one thing I told myself, I'm not going back to country. Because no matter what, you're not going back. I don't matter what happened, I'm not going back to country because country was rough, you know. So
you have to make it here.
Everybody in a country are just a little farming, sit down on the roadside, nothing to do. And I tell myself, say, I forward, may I move. Me not going backward.
So no matter the conditions in whatever, you deal with it and stick with your little work.
I'm going on. I'm moving forward. And things weren't easy in Tivoli Gardens in those years. We're talking about 1986, 87 going on here. So
there were difficulties.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Janice, and we're absorbing story. More of her after the break. Dr. Janice Brooks, yes, Dr. Janice Brooks. You might not know that from the way she uses the language. You would say, but you sound like you're still a free zone worker. And yet you are assistant vice president at the people in big First Global Bank, and you're there CIBC and so on. And you used to talk, so when you work, but you know how to do your code switching.
Yes, because I told you earlier that you have to know when to adjust. You understand? You have to know when to adjust. So there are times when you have to kind of straighten up your shoulder and you know.
And you know
and you know how to do your thing.
Absolutely. Right.
But
adaptability.
But I have to be a real person.
You
understand
Absolutely.
me? Yes.
So now, you're doing your free zone job. You're putting everything in it. Situations not well at home there in Tivoli, but you're doing the job.
I'm doing my thing.
But there came a point.
Yeah, there came a point when I had a disagreement. My sister and I came up on some disagreement. And I remembered clearly. Things happened along the way. I remember clearly. I had to leave.
You had to leave there?
I had to leave the house.
To go where?
And go where me no know me I go.
You know me now go back a country?
Me know me now go back a country. And me no know me I go. So I remember I had 2 scandal bags. One black scandal bag in this hand and one in the other hand. And I remember I went downstairs because we lived on the 2nd floor of the building. Those buildings used to have 4 or 5 floors, somewhere there. And I went downstairs, and you know, the piers a place where you sit down pan there, so we run at the roadside. And I remember I sit down on it and I was crying. But I used to have a girlfriend across the road named Annette. And Annette saw me, and Annette came across, and Annette said to me, said, Janice, what happened to you? And I said, Annette, me no have nowhere to go. She said, what do you mean you no have no? Me said, me no have nowhere to go. She said, what you going to do? You going to go back a country. Me said, go back a country. Me can't go back a country. I mean, nah, go back a country either. You understand me? Because I forward. Me say, me I move, you know. So how me if you move forward and I go backward? When you move forward, you can't go backward. So we sit down there and we try to figure out. But I remember going back to country in between the time, and I heard that my daughter, father, was working up in Skyline. If you know where named Skyline, above Papi in there, where the rich people them used to live in those days.
Skyline,
and I hear he was working up there. Yes. And so I had his number because I made to get him number when we go a country. And so we decided, so we are going to call him, coming on where we go. So
even though your name wasn't a big relationship, no friendship or nothing, but you're desperate. And
you're desperate and you know go back a country.
That's
yes.
right. You
so I called him, and he did answer. And he said, this was like about 6 o'clock in the evening or 5:30, late evening. And he said, you can come, but is me and my girlfriend live?
My girlfriend live?
Yes. And Annette said to me, say, you sure you can manage that? Me say, me have to manage it because me not go back a country. Me not going back to the country. Me determined.
Live with the man
when me said, if me not go back a country, where me I go? Yes. I am determined to go, to move forward.
Yes.
Because let me tell you something. When you see a better day, it's like you're looking at a better day ahead. You have to dream, you know. You have to dream and you have to look forward and you have to embrace those dreams, because if you don't dream, you're going to go back. You're going to go back, you know. But the dream keep you moving forward. Yes. And so long and short of it, we went. So me and Annette go to town. She carry one of the scandal bag, me carry one. And I cried and she cried.
Yes.
And I cried and she cried. And we reach out of town and we take one Papine bus. We don't know any, we never been to Skyline before.
Yes.
But we asked and then said, no taxi, no run, go up there. Because everybody up there have vehicles.
Yes, it's true.
And so we started to walk up the hill. We call him and tell him we wait. And he said, okay. And me and Annette walked to Skyline that night. And me, I got to tell you something when I remember too. When we reached a Skyline at the house, he came out and he was dressed up. They were both dressed up, he and his girlfriend. And he said they were actually going down to Papine. And we have to go back down to Papine with them and walk back up there. But when we walked back down to Papine, we left Annette and Annette gone back to Tivoli. Can I tell you something? My sister searched out and found Annette the other day because when I left, I lose contact with Annette. And Annette now lives in New York. And she called me. My sister gave her my number and she called me. And when I answered the phone, Annette started crying and me started crying. We bawled for about 5 minutes before we could say anything. Annette started, Janice, you remember the night when we walked to Skyline.
We had nowhere to live.
Nowhere to go. And we go to Skyline. And I stayed up there in the less than...
So he was working as well?
He was working as a gardener. Them call it caretaker or something.
So one little room at the back?
So he has a little room at the back.
So the one room you go with him and his girlfriend?
So me go in the one room, so my place was on the floor.
On the floor you sleep?
Yes, I slept on the floor. Because when I say I march forward, me now go back. I mean now go back a country. So me determined say comes what me.
And you sleep on the floor?
They are on their bed and me dip on the floor.
And you have your job at the free zone?
Me have my job at the free zone, so I wake up like 5 o'clock every morning and I take tiptoe and get myself ready. And remember, say no taxi no come from Skyline, you know. So me walk from up a Skyline, go down a Papi in the morning time, me alone. And if me hear one little vehicle come, me hide around one little tree or one stone or something because I don't want nobody to see me. Because next thing I don't know if somebody will go take me. Me remember one Sunday me come. So on Sundays, I used to go down to Annette. And Annette used to give me Sunday dinner, we sit down and talk because me want like a refuge when Sunday come. So I used to go down to Annette and I remember one Sunday morning I come in, if you know where Skyline is, there is this little hill where they used to have some bubble dread thing live on the hillside. But it's a shortcut, you know, if you go around the long road to reach down a Papine.
We have to cut this story here. You know a chance to come back. The lady was anchored by purpose. We're just scratching the surface of this story. This master storyteller has to be back. So we have to continue this story. We thank you for your company on Profile next week. I'll be back until then. Ian Bourne wishing you a very pleasant and a very productive week.